shut it down. So Brazil gave them the X.
Hey. Still gonna be talked about because what just happened to X?
A judge has banned X in Brazil. So
Ooh.
TikTok ain't the only platform that's having problems, baby. You know what I'm saying? X seems to be banned in Brazil because there was a lot of fake news being spread. And guess what? 215 people responded to the government request saying, shut it down. So Brazil gave them the X.
Hey.
And
X got the X.
X got the X. Oh man, you're already on it.
You know what I'm saying? So Elon Musk, you are not above the people.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
Especially the Brazilian people.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there either. However, you know what I'm saying? I think this is the people in Brazil standing up for their country.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm glad that we see things like this because, you know, we've known in the past that TikTok has been having some trouble with the U.S. government. And Brazil went ahead and just did it. They just like, you know, they pressed the button on it. Done. It's done. You know what I'm saying? and, hey, look, I was also at first for TikTok, you know, and I'm not against it anymore. But I do say this: if you're doing things that's unethical and you have a billion people or a million people doing things unethical, you need to be shut down because somehow somebody who's less fortunate, because you know I'm for the little guy who's less fortunate
always,
and it's hard for them to bounce back from a tragic incident. They will be more affected than somebody who has rocket ships that can go out of this country. I'm gonna go out of the world. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hey, I mean, maybe Elon Musk got a little too big for his britches. Brazil tell him, nah, fam. Nope. And to your point about TikTok, I don't understand why it's taking so long for it to get blocked here. If that's you gonna do it, do it.
Well, they gave it to the Biden administration. The Biden administration, because it was Biden's ruling, gave them till the end of January.
It was originally supposed to be this month, September, right? I remember that.
Yeah,
and they got pushed to January. So I mean, hey, anybody can be touched by policies.
Yes,
because that was another policy-driven thing, right?
There it was. Yes, it was.
That pen is mightier than a sword. Let me tell you. Yeah. And there's other countries that scrutinizing X too. Brazil was just one of the first ones to pull that plug. You're out of here. Yup. What's your thoughts on that, Bobby?
So I was gonna try to stay quiet because everybody's got their own opinions, but we kind of go back to what I just told you a little while ago is if Brazil is trying to remove X, right, from their people trying to use it, why is the Brazilian government, you know, being the final determination on what they define as truth? If there's like, let's say there's different news articles being spread around about like stuff that's going to affect the little people, and they don't want little people to find out about it. What if, you know, my little conspiracy hat on, what if they're actually just trying to deter you from the actual truth by taking X out of being able to be provided to the people? I'm not saying that's the thing, but in my mind, I'm like, but why though? You can't say because of misinformation, because that's literally everywhere. It's everywhere. But for a government to come and say, well, we don't want this specific one here. We don't want this specific platform here, but you'll allow all these others when they can do just the same type of damage? Why X? Why Elon?
Corey, you said earlier that the constituents kind of requested that and the government obliged.
Yeah. See,
about 215, but I didn't catch on to what the 215 were. Were they like their electors?
Well, it says the government to request to suspend accounts found to be spreading fake news. So pretty much, I look at it like this: a
Wait,
lot
so
of countries, a lot of other countries, aren't as free as America.
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And because of the fact that they don't have the power to be free, some of them need to have certain laws. Because I remember Brazilian was one of them countries that was like, it was really kind of, before I believe they started promoting the tourism and all that. It was very it was very harsh area over there. And if they had a government that came in and straightened things out and got some order, the first thing they want to do is prevent them from going back to that type of country. Because
it's very volatile.
You don't want that. And anything fake news, they can say, oh, the president of this company based out in Brazil sleeping with all his female employees, and it's fake news. And then one of those persons who's part of the militia can rise up and say, okay, we about to go get him, and it's fake news. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the reason being, they just trying to see why cover their ass to be the, you know what I'm saying, excuse those who, you know, I don't curse, but you know what I'm saying, assets. That's what ass stands for, plural. Assets.
If data drives decisions, I'm curious, would they be willing to share data with the public and say, because of X, Y, and Z, these 1,900 accounts that have been known to spread fake news are the ones that are no longer going to be able to you know, use X anymore or whatever. Where's your data at?
The Brazilian government or?
Yeah, no, the Brazilian government. Where's your data to back up your policy, right?
I don't know how their government is set up. I don't know if they even have to. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I think here.
No, you're right. They might not even have to say anything. They could just be like, "Doop, write it," and that's it. New policy.
I think we're accustomed to the freedoms and rights we have here in the U.S.
Right.
And I think, going back to TikTok, right? We've had these discussions, Bobby, several times, right? If it comes to the point to where Congress decides to just block TikTok, I think what's gonna happen is the public, the people, constituents are gonna be like, you better show proof. And I think what'll happen with that is some documents will have to be declassified to show that proof, right? Because when the people speak, our government has to oblige, right? To your point, people are going to be like, show us the proof that this is a real danger. I don't know what's going on. I'm just speculating that there may be documents out there classified that'll give the public all the proof they want, right? I don't know if they have that same type of system in Brazil. I can't even, I don't know.
I don't know. I pay attention to American politics because kind of like anything else around the world doesn't directly affect me and my family. Not that I don't care, it just doesn't directly affect me.
Right.
So what happens in Brazil, they can get rid of X, they can keep X. I don't really care, but I know it's been in the news a lot lately. You know, for sure. I know Elon's definitely been in the news a lot lately, but you know, kind of brings up the interesting topic. Gee, I know you and I know, but why is it for those, because it might be a hard topic because people don't want to hear it. Why should TikTok be banned here in the United States?
To be honest, I don't know.
I thought we were gonna
ban. Here's the thing, and Geronimo made it clear. Why it should be banned is because of the fact that another country who don't handle our policies or who don't handle our partnership with that company well is housing most of the data, right? Data, like you guys said, data drives decisions. If all the information is being stored in China, right? And we can't have access to it, or you know, we can, but we got to go through loopholes, and then we find out that China TikTok is not the same TikTok as it is in America.
They don't even have TikTok. They have a whole different product.
Yeah, but they still use it like TikTok, but it's called something else. Then that makes you think something's fishy. Why isn't our platform, the platform you gave America, as good as over in America for your country?
So, and good point, right? And Bobby, the reason why I said I don't know, because after several discussions, right, I'm the biggest advocate for blocking it because I know of the potential threat. You know what I'm
saying? So that's where I kind of wanted you to speak on why is it that we do it, you know?
It's a huge potential threat, right? And we have friends in the intel community. They won't say specifically, but they kind of allude to, right? And they don't even have to say a lot. And I've worked with intel communities, right? And I know when people in the intel community start talking, they're talking for a reason, right? Yeah. And because this is really an intelligence concern, right? So which I think most people they just brush over stuff like that. But when I started like reading about the potential intelligence threats, that's what made me be like, oh, holy guacamole, we need to block this thing, right? Yeah. Because I see that it can be a huge potential threat. We opened up earlier on in this, right? We got to say it again. Data is the new drug.
AI is the new plug.
You collect enough data about an adversary of yours, right? You can triangulate that data and basically get whatever you need. That's one potential threat. Another potential threat, we talked about it earlier with propaganda, right? You can use propaganda to sway the thoughts. Like you said it earlier, Bobby, you tell a lie enough, eventually your brain will think it's the truth, right? That's another intelligence threat that's out there to where there's been reports out there that the people that are controlling TikTok are pushing things out to our children and just the regular public to influence the way we think, right? Influence certain decisions, maybe even trying to influence the way we vote, right?
Using a lot of AI, you can essentially, redefine what normal is by using something fake and make it
exactly.
You don't know what you're looking at actually is or is not true. You got to be able to discern what those things look like.
Yes.
I agree.
And to your point about the discernment, everything that I'm talking about is all speculation until the government actually shares like hard, tangible data. I'm speculating. I can admit to say I'm speculating because I know of potential threats, right? I'm gonna throw that out there. And again, that's why I said earlier, I think that it's gonna come to that point to where the people we've appointed in certain positions are gonna have to make that decision to maybe declassify and show us what the real threats are, right? I have my educated guesses, right? And then I'm purely speculating for anyone out there, right? But I think that's really what it's coming down to. But, in our experience being in the military, Bobby, my educated guess came to me for a reason. You know what I mean?
So I'm still in the intel community, and I have always have feedback. And just knowing what I know, I do not recommend anybody in America, obviously, to have TikTok. If you already have it on your phone, you're too late. You got your phone, they got your data.
They got me. They done got me.
Talking about you, Corey Giovanni. Talking about you, brother.
Why I don't get TikTok. I mean, it's the cyber threats, man. It's such I forget it's a very anomalous platform. It siphons data, and I mean, it is out there. They put it in the user agreement. Go back and watch that Joe Rogan video when he actually read through the user agreement. It has the ability to siphon data from other apps in your phone. I mean, I let that, and that's out there. It's public.
It's like taking flying to a whole new level. And then when you talk about triangulating data, you begin to build groups of what individuals China would deem as an adversary to the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, to the government, to figure out where these targets are exactly. I imagine they have groups of people just over there just identifying who you are, what you do. They can tell by what you click on, what you're interested in. They can probably pick up things about your family, like some scary things. That's what I said, taking like spying to a whole new level, and they're doing it silently. They're doing it while you sleep at night.
I'm gonna rephrase what you're saying, Bobby, right? Because back in the day of intel gathering, right, and you are our intel person here, you had to work for that intel. Like you actually had to work and hustle to get that intel. Now We're just giving it to them. Here you go. Here's everything you
It's
want.
like,
Here's the nail polish I'm
click,
using.
click, click,
Here's
click,
my
click,
route
click,
to
sign.
work into the massage
Yep.
therapist. I'm giving you everything.
Everything.
And that's why I say it's a threat. And maybe Brazil,
They're getting the whole cow.
you get the whole thing. They're
And the
getting the
whole
cow
cow.
milk, they're getting the goat milk, the chicken with the eggs, they're getting everything.
Chicken with the egg. I love it.
But I'm wondering if Brazil had their own concerns like that we just don't know about it with X.
No, yeah.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
We may not be getting the full picture. Here we are giving our feedback on something when we may not even know the whole scope of what it is that they're actually doing and why they're doing it. So,
and someone in Brazil might catch this stream and be like, "Y'all in the U.S., man, mind your own business."
Hey,
you know what? You right.
You
we
right.
just giving you news that you can use.
News you can use. So that wraps up another episode of News You Can Use. Technically speaking,